What are you talking about? I'm not muted. I'm waiting on confirmation if I'm muted or not. Confirmation if I'm muted or not. Okay, it was on Dave's end. It was not me. It was Dave. It was his fault. Hold on. Okay, it was fucking Dave. God damn it. Worthless ass trash house David strikes again. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Hello everybody. Welcome. I'm here thanks to trash ass David. I'm gonna play video games very badly for you for the next 30 minutes. You have my sincerest apologies. But I can also do the other thing that this event is about, and I can talk a lot about gaming with my parents. So while we do that, we'll go ahead and I'm gonna start this timer right the hell now. With this button. There we go. We all know why we're here. It's a big important thing. Unfortunately, our good pal David lost his father. Yes, we're all here to play a couple of his favorite games, and I thought that's a great idea to memorialize somebody, because I know that growing up, playing video games with my parents, and with my dad especially, is something that remains a big important thing for me. A lot of my fondest memories in life, I am not ashamed to say, are tied to video games, and whether it was playing them with my dad or my mom, or whether it was getting them for Christmas or my birthday. Like, I was that kid that, like, once I got an NES, I didn't want toys anymore. Like, if you're gonna get me anything for my birthday or Christmas, just get me an NES game. And my parents were, like, super cool about that, and they absolutely did. So they kind of, they were good parents in that they reinforced all of my bad habits. The reason that I know that playing video games is like with my parents especially, and again especially with my dad, is such a big thing, is because when me and my dad would play video games together, I would always he would always sit to my left, and when you're hanging out with somebody, it's natural to kind of like look over at them and just see how they're hanging, like what's going on with them, like, hey, how you doing, or they're talking to you and you're looking at them. And I find that to this day that I still have a habit, even when I'm just by myself, like I look over to my left sometimes while playing video games. And my father passed away in 2012, and that's like something that really just kind of stuck with me. So that's sort of like how I know that like playing video games was a very big part in like how I bonded with my parents, how I like just came together and do things. We literally played everything together. Like I said, a lot of my fondest memories are playing video games with my dad. I can remember a very the Christmas that I got my my Sega Genesis. I remember like the New Year's Eve of that year. I remember my dad and I sitting down and running through Streets of Rage for the first time. Is another one of my favorite memories of playing video games with people, especially my dad. So yeah, it's like video games have always been a pretty big part of my life, and especially with my father. And you're gonna have to excuse me, I suck at watching chat and playing high intensity video games like fucking Pac-Man. But hopefully the stories and things that I can tell you about video games may be enough to make this worthwhile, if I'm not able to be the most interactive streamer on the planet when playing high intensity video games like mother effing Pac-Man. But yeah, just playing video games, a big important part of my childhood, and that stuff is just like, it's why I play a lot of older games. It's like, I think that's a lot of the reason as why I still enjoy these retro games. I think a lot of them still hold up, obviously, but there are so many fond memories attached to just sitting down and like playing Contra with my dad, beating Streets of Rage with my dad, and like it was mentioned in chat earlier, it's going to come up, and I was going to mention it too. It's just like, you've always got, like, even if you have parents that weren't like super into video games, I'll guarantee you, one, you either have a parent that was, or you know a parent that was super addicted to Tetris. And that was definitely a thing for both of my parents. My mom was not so much into video games as my dad was. But once I got my first Game Boy, that Game Boy wasn't mine anymore. Like, I got Operation C, and the damn system came with Tetris. But once my mom figured out, like, what you do in Tetris, that it wasn't just lining up colors and making them disappear. Oh, yeah, okay, that Game Boy is no longer mine. I will no longer own this, and I would eventually need to go buy my own Game Boy. And a similar issue happened when I got my first DS Lite. I got my first DS Lite, I got Advance Wars, and I got New Super Mario Brothers, which had just come out. And my dad was a big Mario Brothers fan, and my dad ended up co-opting my my Nintendo DS for himself. I think he only played through New Super Mario Brothers once. What he got addicted to was actually the casino mini games. Those games had like a pretty fun little like casino mini game. I think they were like slots. There was poker. Luigi was the dealer. It was fun. But I remember, like, once my dad finished New Super Mario Brothers for the first time, literally never played that game ever again. He literally only played the casino games, and he ran the coin counter up to that thing. So, like, he ran the coin counter up to, like it maxed out at 9999, and I know he ran that damn coin counter from 0 to 9999 at least 40 or 50 times throughout the course of playing that game. It got to a point to where it was just like, okay, there are more games coming out for this DS that I want to play, and we're at an impasse. So I did the thing that you do, and I bought my dad I bought my dad a pink Nintendo DS for Father's Day, and he proudly like took it like a man, did not complain, he didn't argue, didn't throw it away. My dad wasn't no sissy. He didn't care. He was secure in his manhood. Got him his pink DS. He took that damn thing to work with him, and he was like one of those dudes that did what's the word? Electric stuff? What is electric stuff? What do you call electric people? You call them electric people? I think you probably call them electric people. He's a big, burly, manly man. Big barrel-chested dude. So he did all that fun stuff. And he didn't care. Like, I got my pink DS. I ain't afraid of nothing. What are you going to do? You going to say something about it? Don't think you're going to say nothing about it. So yeah, like, lots and lots of video games happened in my house. Like, once the NES was involved, we had a 2600. We got the 2600 from a family friend who just kind of gave it to us, and it came with a bunch of games. Pac-Man and Donkey Kong were two of the included video games, so I am very intimately familiar with the 2600 versions of both Pac-Man and Donkey Kong, because I played them long before I ever even saw the arcade version of Pac-Man. So when I first played Pac-Man and I saw this shit, like, what is this? This isn't Pac-Man. This is nonsense. What is this? Why is it so small? Why is it skinny? And I didn't know any better. I didn't know, I'd never seen the arcade game before. So, you go to your friend's house, they got Pac-Man for NES, and you're like, that's not Pac-Man. That's not what I played on my cutting-edge hardware from 1978 Atari 2600. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what I played. Real OGs play 2600 Pac-Man. But we had that, we had Donkey Kong, and yeah, very specifically remember spending a lot of time on these games. Another fun story about my dad is he was really bad at hiding when he was like excited about something that was supposed to be a surprise. So the year when I was getting my NES for Christmas, my dad, like, on December 24th, on Christmas Eve, he was just like, hey, you know, we need to play all these Atari games, you know, because you might know, there might come a day you never want to play these anymore. And you know, looking back now, it was obvious, like, oh, he was just super excited for the NES, because I don't even know that I understood entirely what an NES was capable of at that point. Because I'd only played one briefly at a friend's house when my parents were attending a funeral somewhere, and but he was like, "Yeah, we gotta go play these Atari games. You're never gonna want to play them again someday. So we need to get a." You know, I was like, "Okay, this is weird, but whatever." And the memory from that day that I remember specifically is we also had Miss Pac-Man for Atari 2600, which was markedly better. It was a markedly better game. And I remember sitting there watching my dad go freaking beast mode on Miss Pac-Man for Atari 2600, and it was the first time I ever saw somebody wrap a score counter from triple nines to 0. And I think it was like a 2 or 3 hour run to do it. But that is I remember that being the Christmas Eve before that I got my NES. And I remember that being just such a cool thing, a cool final memory, a cool little swan song for my Atari 2600, I suppose. A fun way for that to go. I ran right into that motherfucker and wasn't paying attention. Can you believe this nonsense? Who designed these crap-ass video games anyway? My mom's experience with video games was more, again, like, she liked, when we finally got the NES and got it hooked up, she was big into Duck Hunt, but not Duck Hunt. She hated Duck Hunt, like, the ducks pissed her off, and she hated the dog. I think the dog legitimately pissed my mom off in a way that I don't know, that just like, it was always very silly. Just like, you know, she was that person that when the dog comes up and the dog starts laughing, she's pointing the gun at the screen and just click, 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 clicking the goddamn trigger. You hear the spring in that thing crying out for dear life. And the sweet release of death. It was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. But she was big into clay pigeon shooting, and she tried so hard to roll the score counter in that game, and I think the farthest she ever got was like 830,000 or something like that. So yeah, like, my parents, like, you know, they like, my mom, like, wasn't a super gamer, but like, they had their niche, and like, when you gave them Tetris, when you gave them Dr. Mario, I was like, okay, yeah, they're at home. And then Tetris and Dr. Mario was a combo cart for the SNES that came out, and I remember my dad picking that up, and I remember thinking, cool, I don't own an SNES any longer, do I? And at that point, they actually just got an SNES for themselves, and I think he mostly just got it so mom could play Tetris and Dr. Mario. Because, I mean, at that point, I had already moved on to bigger things in life. Like, I was playing Square Enix RPGs at that point. I was playing, like, Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger by the time Tetris and Dr. Mario came out for the SNES as a combo cart. That's a hell of a deal, though. 2 of the best puzzle games ever made, and you're going to put them on one cart? But yeah, yeah, my dad, like, Tetris, Dr. Mario, like, my dad was really good at those, too. Remember borrowing Dr. Mario from a neighbor, and just, like, my dad being instantly insanely good at it. We would play the 2-player mode, and he was just like, yeah, I'm not beating you. Like, you are literally unassailable. I can't believe this. Yeah, so, why did I do that? What is that? What is turning left when these idiots are to your left? That is not how you play Pac-Man. Get your head in the game. No, I can't take these skills to Evo. Sorry, folks. I feel like I've let the home team down. What am I doing? Let's see. What else? I burnt all my best material in literally 12 minutes and 50 seconds, people. Now I've got 17 minutes. Like, what do? Do I just sit here and just shit talk Dave for 17 minutes and 10 seconds? Is that what I need to do? I do have a fun Donkey Kong story, but I'm going to save that for when I'm playing Donkey Kong, because it's appropriately, it's also since we've entered the month and the domain of October, it's a spoopy story. But you're gonna think to yourself, what? How is a Donkey Kong story? How could a Donkey Kong story possibly be spoopy, Polly? You are out of your dang mind. You just wait. You just wait. Donkey Kong gets scary. Donkey Kong don't mess around. I will preface it by saying I'm cursed. And once you hear this story, you may never have another proper night of sleep again. I take no responsibility. You're going to want to put a disclaimer on this stream. You're going to scare the shit out of everybody once they hear this amazing story about Donkey Kong for the Atari 2600 that I have. But yeah, this version, when I finally played this version of Pac-Man, it was just so weird. Because the one that I had played with was just so boxy and square. And like, in hindsight, yeah, I can look at that. It's like, that is an absolute dog shit conversion of Pac-Man. Who thought that was good? Who let that fly? If you've played Pitfall for like a minute, you've played enough. I think that's about right, yeah. Yeah, like, I like the idea of Pitfall. It's just, I think that progression through that game is a little too obtuse by today's standards because of the way that the game had to be constructed due to the system limitations. And how the screens just often repeat and how everything's, you know, just really kind of hard to keep track of unless you're mapping it out. And even then, you don't know if you're mapping it properly. Anyway, we're about to hit the 15-minute mark for Pac-Man. And seeing as that I'm not Nefitz and I'm not going to be like the best goddamn player on the planet, once I die the next time, we'll call it and we'll move on to Donkey Kong. But for now, we're going to eat as many ghosts as we can. I would ideally at least like to break 10,000. Come on, I can at least do that. Alright, look at us go. Look at us go. Professional gamer, knows how to play a video game. Played more than one or two in my life, believe it or not. Look at this. So many points. I'm about to line this sumbitch up. Get eaten, bitches. Uh-oh, I done screwed this up. Hold on, hold on. Hubris. Hubris! Oh, shit. Well, you know what? We might as well pad the score a little bit. I think we continue here. We pad the score a little bit. We do what we can. We pad it out. Sure, I'm going over 15 minutes, but it's my allotted time. And I dare Junkyard Dave to try and do a damn thing about it. Look at that. Love these little cutscenes. I believe somebody pointed out in chat that yes, they do add a ghost every 2 levels, so that eventually you are chasing 4 ghosts. And then I think it just resets the sprite limit. It's just like, hey, I can't do more than that. What are you doing? Get over here. We're padding my score now. We are eating as many ghosts as we possibly can. Power pellets are the priority. That's the ABCs of Pac-Man, by the way. Power pellets are the priority. Just remember your ABCs of Pac-Man. Power pellets are the priority. Look at this. Now we're playing like we got a damn brain in our head. Yeah, I can do it. I can score points. I'm a big kid now. I can do it. I'm so proud of me. God damn, how did I get so good at video games? Goddamn miracle. We might even break the 20,000 point barrier. This is my dream. My dream to break 20,000 points in Pac-Man, and I'm so close to doing it. Look at that. Look at that. 20K. 20K. And they said it couldn't be done. The proverbial they. The royal they. They said it couldn't be done. But I did it. I did it without a single bit of help. Especially from Trash Can David. Didn't do a thing to help me. Why is Pac-Man so fun? Holy crap. Nobody told me Pac-Man was fun. Hey! He got way too fast. We got a kill screen coming up. Hold on. I need to go eat this power pellet here. Look at this. Look at this. 1! When there's only 1 little pellet left in the maze, that is literally the worst feeling in the world. Everybody say hello to my wifey, Celestial Blade. at these guys. They go so fast now. Who strapped superchargers to these guys' asses? Okay, I might end up burning all my time on Pac-Man. Turns out I'm actually a god at it. Oh, well. All right, Power Pellet is the priority. Once more, Power Pellet is the priority. ABCs of Pac-Man, let's go. Get up here. I need more of you. Crowd me, you bitches. It's all pride now. It's all just pride. That extra 500 points, well, my legacy was not long-lived, but that's my legacy. My legacy is 26,860. I'll take that. I think that's a solid finish. All right, we're gonna move over to Donkey Kong now. And I'm gonna tell you the scary Donkey Kong story just in time for Halloween. So I as I mentioned, I had Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600 growing up. If I can talk about the game a little bit before I jump into my very spoopy story. When I played that game, I didn't know that it was a monkey throwing barrels. That's not how those graphics read to me. I thought that it was an alien throwing honeycomb cereal or cookies at me. If you go look at the graphics for Donkey Kong on Atari 2600, I think that that's a pretty good inference to make when you are playing that game and you are like 6 years old. 6, 7 years old. I'm gonna just jump over barrels. Look at this. This is what we call milking. I know that there are a lot of definitions for that particular word. This is the safe for Twitch version of milking. Just, so we're all on the up and up here. I'm not gonna get Junkyard Dave TOS'd by Twitch for talking about any other type of milking. We're fine. This is points milking. This is often a technique referred to in shmups. We'll go now. Anyway, so I have a spooky Donkey Kong Atari 2600 story that I would like to share with you. So, like I said, this is a game that I owned for the 2600 growing up, and I kept all of my Atari carts, by the way, from when I was younger. And this was about 2005, I want to say, when this happened. I was at a local Walmart late at night. Wait, what? Are we Spelunker now? What the fuck was that? Anyway, this level is not in the Atari 2600 version, by the way. But I was at a Walmart at really late at night, and I was leaving with a friend, and we were walking back to his car, and I happened to notice a beige, sort of off-whitish rectangle kind of just sitting in the parking lot, just kind of like near his car, but it was just kind of like maybe a space or two over. Anyway, so I go over to investigate because I'm like, what is this? What is this thing that I'm looking at? And it turns out that for some reason in the year 2005, someone had abandoned a copy of Donkey Kong for the Atari 2600 in a Walmart parking lot, and could not figure out why, but I went ahead and took it because that is such a weird thing to find at that point in time at that particular place. So, fine. Years go by, I don't think anything of it. It's totally a normal occurrence. I found Atari 2600 Donkey Kong in a Walmart parking lot late at night once. We're going to flash forward to about 2015, 2016. I'm in a completely different state at this point. I am at a Walmart It is more midday. I am walking back to my car. I get close to my car, and I notice an off-white, kind of beige rectangle once again, and I'm thinking, there is no way that what I am about to see is a thing that this can't actually happen. This will not happen. Literally, almost 10, 11 years later, I somehow came into possession in another Walmart parking lot in a completely different state. Another copy of Donkey Kong for the Atari 2600. I still have all 3 cartridges, and I think I am either cursed or there is somebody that knows me well enough, that knows where I am at all times, at various points in my life, and is making it some kind of strategic thing to fuck with me by planting Donkey Kong Atari 2600 carts near where I live or at Walmarts that I am going to. So that's my spooky Donkey Kong story. It's one of the weirdest things that, like, but I swear to you, I'm not, like, I would have no reason at all to make up a story this stupid. This is something that just legitimately happened. And I do not understand how, like, that is, like, it's such a weird cosmic thing, right? I guess this is where I live now, I guess. This is just where I live. But yeah, like, that's my weird Donkey Kong story. Why I am in possession of 3 Donkey Kong cartridges, 2 of which were found in Walmart parking lots, in 2 different states. That's my weird story. I'm surprised I think I did pretty well. I think I did a lot better than I did fucking Pac-Man with this whole thing here. Yeah, we're winding down pretty good. I actually got like a full loop clear on this one. I was not expecting that because I've literally not played Donkey Kong in probably 15 years. When did the King of Kong came out? Because I'm pretty sure that, like everybody else, I'm one of the, like me, I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw King of Kong and were like, hey, I could probably play Donkey Kong at a decent clip. And then you realize, wait, no, I can't play Donkey Kong at a decent clip. Like, not at all. No, like, what on earth was I thinking? So yeah, 10 years, it's about how long it's been, or 10, 15 years is about how long it's been. I'm just gonna jump over barrels. Is it worth it? Should I just like, go? Maybe the bonus is worth more. You wish you were as good a storyteller? You can be, Zemek. You just sign up for my online courses, and I too will teach you how to tell spoopy stories on the internet, specifically about finding Donkey Kong cartridges in Walmart parking lots late at night. That is I know that it is a very specific type of story that I can help you tell, but as you can tell, I can tell that story really well. I'll offer that to you. I'll even offer you the friend discount. Like, I'll even do that. You just hit me up after stream. We'll get it worked out. We'll get you straightened out. We'll get you situated. Don't you worry. Don't worry, folks. I'll be out of here in another 2 minutes, 30 seconds. It's almost over. I promise you, it's almost over. I will be through. It'll be over. We can all forget this. And then people that are much better at video games, can come on and play these dang things. I don't know. I'm pressing buttons. You think I know anything about these at all? I press buttons and I make the silly man on screen move. That to me is like, hey, if I could, I'd sit here and seal clap right now. I'll do it right now. I'm just gonna seal clap. There you go. What am I, a clown? I'm here amusing you? Is that all I'm here for? Is that all I am? Entertainment to you? The flames are bastards, by the way. I think the flames are totally unfair. "90 seconds, people. It's almost over. Don't worry. We'll get through this together, me and you. We've got this. We're gonna get through this. This is just as embarrassing for me as it is for you. Trust me. I am a circus seal. That's my, that is my night job, actually. My day job is I'm a private eye. People don't know that I'm actually a private eye. I dig up dirt on people. I specifically look up dirt on people, but it's really weird because the only information I'm really good at finding out about people is how many Oreos they've eaten in their lives. That is literally the only thing I know how to do. And like, it is, you would be shocked when I tell you how little use there is for a skill like that. In today's modern workforce, there are precious few jobs that require the knowledge of knowing how many Oreos a person has eaten in their lives. There's just not a lot you can do with those credentials. I put all my level up points into the entire wrong build. Nobody was there to teach me better either. Nobody had my back on that one. They were just like, nah, I'll put it all in Oreo counting. It's good. You got this. Somebody's got to be able to do it, right? But that's my time, folks. Thank you very much to Junkyard Dave for having me on. Much love to you, Dave. You know, we all got your back and we love you lots. And you can go ahead and kick me on out of here now. Bye-bye.